Hello and welcome to another byteben.com video. We are looking at the Azure Active Directory application proxy again today, and more specifically we are going to be creating enterprise apps for our internal web apps. So in Azure Active Directory we can create an enterprise application, and specifically for the application proxy feature we can create an web application that would point to our internal web app, so our internet-based users can access those internal web apps. Okay, that's maybe I've confused things really badly there, so let's just get into the lab. So first of all, I'm on my lab domain controller, and for this particular application we're going to enable single sign-on, so our internal web app supports integrated Windows authentication. So for the connector member server to do Kerberos constrained delegation for the user, I need to make sure I've got an SPN set. So we have set one there for our application. Now we're going to pop over to portal.azure.com and open the application proxy. So we can do this from the Enterprise Applications blade or from the Application Proxy blade. Microsoft have moved things around and made things really easy to get to. So essentially we're going to create an application, but more specifically we're going to create an on-premise application. So we need to give the application a name, and the application in our lab we're going to call it Awesome App 1. No points for creativity. So the internal URL is the URL your internal users would use to access the application. So we've got a C name here pointing to our IIS box, and so the internal name is awesomeapp1.byteben.com. So we're using split brain DNS in our lab. So I'm just going to populate the full FQDN in there, and as you'll see, the application proxy will suggest a name for you based on the internal URL that you type in, and we'll just breeze over that, and we can choose pass-through authentication or Azure Active Directory authentication. So pre-authentication we want to use Azure, so we can make use of MFA and all those nice things. And then we're just going to select our connector group that we created in the previous video. Okay, we can leave the other options as they are for now. You can see we've got a URL generated for this web app, and awesomeapp1-byteben, which is my tenant name, .msappproxy.net. So it just takes a few moments to create the application. Okay, so the application's created, and we need to do some things here now. So one of the first things we're going to need to do is check single sign-on. So this particular application we want to enable SSO, so we'll pick Windows Integrated Authentication option, and here is where we need to put in the SPN so we can perform that Kerberos constrained delegation. So we're just going to copy that here and paste it in here. Pretty straightforward, and we're using the UPN part of the token to verify the user and to delegate that log on. Okay, so we've done that. We're going to hit save, and again we've picked a slow internet day to do this lab. Cool, it's done. Okay, and what we're just going to show you here is that we can make use of that Azure AD pre-authentication. We're going to use some conditional access for this application. So what I'm going to say is I want this conditional access policy to apply to all users, and as you can see it's already selected Awesome App 1 because I was in that context on the previous blade, and I'm going to say okay, this applies to any device platform. We'll hit done, and so specifically what I'm going to require is to grant you access. I am going to require multi-factor authentication for this application. So this is just to give you an example of how flexible we can be. So don't forget to enable that policy, switch it on and press create. Also give it a name, Ben, that'd be quite useful. Cool. And we'll create that conditional access policy. So that's good. So we've chosen our SSO method, we've created a conditional access policy, and the really important one that I miss quite often is that we need to assign our application to a group of users. So the default is user assignment required is yes. So let's go ahead and assign a user. So this can be a group of users. In this example, I'm just going to choose one. There we go, Billy No Mates. Okay, that just about wraps this up. So we've assigned the user, we've chosen the single sign-on method, and we've created a conditional access policy. And yep, pretty much as simple as that to create an enterprise application for the application proxy. So let's test this now. We're going to jump straight across to our browser and go to the msatproxy.net URL that is generated for our enterprise application. You can see straight away Azure AD is trying to pre-authenticate us and it's asking for multi-factor authentication, so our conditional access policy is being honoured here. So let me just reply to that and accept that incoming request. There we go. And bang, straight through. So you can see we're visiting the awesome app 1-by-ben.msatproxy.net, and the application proxy service is doing exactly what it should be doing here. So we pre-authenticated with Azure AD, and the authentication was negotiated, and we got access to our internal web app via the application proxy connector. So we're all good, and that pretty much sums up this lab. So thank you ever so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon on byben.com.